Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my podcast. I'm your host, Justina. I'm a life coach, and today we are going to talk about something that so many of people struggle with, and it's something that creates stress, resentment, or even burnout when we don't have it, and that's boundaries. So, boundaries are not walls, they are not selfish, they are not rude, they are simply the places where you say, this is okay for me and that is not. If you've ever said yes when you've really wanted to say no, if you ever walked away from a conversation feeling drained, if you've ever carried guilt for putting yourself first, this episode is for you. So take a breath, relax, and let's dive in. Boundaries are the limit where your responsibility ends and someone else begins. They protect your energy, your emotional health, and your peace. So we have boundaries in many areas. Emotional, I can't hold this conversation right now. Time, I'm not available after 7 p.m. Physical, I don't feel comfortable with that. Mental, that comment crossed a line. Digital, please don't share my photos without asking. Most people think boundaries push people away, but healthy boundaries actually improve relationships because they're built on honesty instead of silent resentment. So, why we struggle with boundaries? Let's be honest. Setting boundaries isn't easy. Most people avoid it for three reasons: fear of disappointing others. So you want to be liked, you want to keep the peace, you don't want anyone to think you're rude. Past experiences, maybe when you tried to speak up before and someone reacted badly. Maybe you learned it Maybe you learned it's better to stay quiet. Or guilt, you've been trained to believe that taking care of yourself is selfish, when in reality it's necessary. So here's something important: you are not responsible for how people react to your boundaries. You are only responsible for communicating them calmly and clearly. So, how to set boundaries without feeling bad? So let's break down this into something simple and doable. So, step 1: get honest with yourself. What is draining you? What are you tolerating? What are you tolerating that you no longer want to accept? Where do you feel uncomfortable? Step 2: use clear language. Boundaries don't need long explanations. You can simply say, I'm not able to do that right now. I can't commit to this. I need some time for myself. That doesn't work for me. Short, calm, respectful. And step 3 is to just stick to it. So people test your boundaries at first, not because they're bad people, but because you've trained them to accept yes. Stay consistent, they will adapt. Step 4 is to release the guilt. Feeling guilty doesn't mean you're doing something wrong, it means you're breaking an old pattern. And remember, healthy people respect boundaries. Wrong people get angry when you stop sacrificing yourself to them. I have a few examples that possibly you can relate to. So, example 1 is the friend who always needs something. So they ask you for favors, rights, emotional support, but you feel exhausted. A boundary might sound like, hey, I really care about you, but I don't have the emotional space to talk about this right now. Second example is family expectations. So maybe someone in your family thinks they can comment on your life choices. A boundary could be, I'm not open to discuss this topic. And example number 3 is work taking over your life. So if job expects you to be available 24/7, I won't be responding to messages after 6 p.m. Notice how all these statements are calm, direct, and respectful, not dramatic and not emotional. So, what happens when you start setting boundaries? And this is the exciting part because you begin to feel more confident, more peaceful, more in control of your life, less resentful, less overwhelmed, and more connected to who you really are. Boundaries create emotional space where you can feel when you can finally breathe. They let you show up as best self for the people you care about. You can't pour from an empty cup, but you also can't pour from a cup that everyone keeps drinking from without permission. So I have a few journal questions for you. So just take some time and reflect on these. So the first question is, where in my life do I feel drained or uncomfortable? The second question is, what am I afraid will happen if I finally say no? And the third question is, what is one small boundary I can set this week? And remember, it's just for yourself, so you don't have to stress about them. Just answer them whenever you're ready and feel comfortable. And I also have the usual actions for this week. So I want you to start practicing saying no. So even if it's a small thing, can be anything. It will really, really help you. Trust me. And another one is choose one area of your life that needs boundary. Work, family, friendships, messages, time, energy, can be anything. I'm still learning how to set boundaries, so I'm not an expert, but I can tell you that these exercises would definitely help you. Um, it really helped me, and I can see a massive difference in like my actions and how I feel and how I interact with people. So I'm hoping that will help you as well. And I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, setting boundaries is not pushing people away, it's protecting your peace, it's choosing yourself, it's self respect in action. So just remember that you always deserve a healthy, respectful, peaceful relationships. You deserve space, you deserve emotional safety, and boundaries are how you create that. That's all for today. So, if you enjoyed it, and I just want to say thank you once again. See you and bye.